participants to this Atal FDP being organized by Dr. Yogesh, and I welcome all of them to this knowledge dissemination process, which through this Atal program AICTE is organizing, so that this process of dissemination of knowledge is not stopped even during this time of pandemic. So without any delay, we shall start with our topic today. Today I will, just a minute, I'm sharing my screen. Yeah, is it visible now?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So on the occasion of this AICTE Atal FDP on artificial intelligence and green power technology, AIGPT, which is scheduled to be held during June 14 to 18, 2021 at KNIT Sultanpur. On this process, I'm thankful to Dr. Yogesh that he has given me opportunity to share my some views and some observations regarding this artificial intelligence and introduction with our learned colleagues, most of them who are teachers at different engineering institutions. So first of all, I will like to introduce, before moving further to my next slide, I will just try to share this introduction, basic introduction about this term artificial intelligence, and then we will start this presentation. So first of all, we shall have to go with the feel that this human being who has created all these technologies and all these terms, right? The humankind has given itself this scientific name Homo sapiens, that is man the wise, because our mental capacities are so important to our everyday lives and our sense of self. The field of artificial intelligence, or this AI, which we name it in short, attempts to understand these intelligent entities. Therefore, there are several reasons to study it, but the foremost reason to study is to learn more about ourselves. But unlike this philosophy and psychology, which are also concerned with this intelligence, AI strives to build intelligent entities as well as to understand them. Second reason you can say for reading this, studying this AI, is that these constructed intelligent entities, they are interesting and useful in their own right. So this way the AI, artificial intelligence, has produced many significant and impressive products, even at this early stage in its development. Although no one can predict the future in detail, but it is clear that the computers with human level intelligence or something better than that would have a huge impact on our everyday lives and on the future course of civilization. So in this way, the AI addresses one of the ultimate puzzles, how it is possible that a very small, tiny brain, whether biological or electronic, has the capacity to perceive, understand, predict, and manipulate a world which is much bigger and complicated than itself. So in this way, we go about making something with those properties which were initially limited to the human brain only. These are very hard questions, but unlike the search for, initially they strive for this faster than light travel or something which was having anti-gravity device, the researchers in AI has solid evidences that this particular quest is possible. AI is one of the newest discipline for which we have started hearing in 1956. That was the first. I will show it in my next slide, that from where it started in 1956. But this term AI was coined in 1956, but the beginning of all these, at that point of time, work had been underway for about 5 years. since 1950. And in 1950, it all started when this gentleman named Alan Turing asked the question from the ourself or society, you can say, or the researcher community, that can machines think? This was the question which Alan Turing put in 1950. And he published a paper titled Computing Machinery and Intelligence. And its subsequent, he published a Turing test, established the fundamental goal and vision for AI. So the major limitation in defining artificial intelligence is simply building machines that are intelligent. Is that it does not actually explain what AI is and what makes a machine intelligence, which was the question of can machine become intelligent raised by the Turing. But we all know that this artificial intelligence started in 1956, but intelligence is a thing which is one of the oldest discipline in human history. And this was started about 2000 years back when Socrates started studying this intelligence. So I will not go in that direction. I will simply put myself in this domain of artificial intelligence. And this over 2000 years before, the philosophers have tried to understand how this seeing, learning, and this remembering, and the foremost important thing is the reasoning should be done, or how it can be raised, or how it can be increased in the human being. Then in 1956, the computers were there, and they turned the speculation and concerns in mental faculties into a real experimental and a theoretical discipline, right? So at that time, a hope came that the new electronic super brains can come with an unlimited potential for the intelligence, right? And a typical headline was published at that time, that was the faster than Einstein. So this all provided a vehicle for creating artificially intelligent entities. The computer provides a tool which that was a very new invention at that time, a tool for testing theories of intelligence. But many theories of them, they failed also to withstand these tests, right? So they were simply evolving the theories and trying to test them in those initial days. Then this AI has turned out to be more difficult than many of those theories which were first imagined, and followed by modern ideas which were more rich, which were more subtle and more interesting, right? So presently the AI encompasses a huge variety of subfields which are very general purpose areas, such as is perception and logical reasoning. And they also have some very specific tasks for which they have been deployed or developed, such as playing chess, proving this mathematical theorems, or there are certain programs which have been developed for writing these poetries or stories. And definitely the foremost important thing, very important thing which we are using of this AI or this intelligence in the area of this diagnosing diseases, right? And presently we are using this AI and other its branches in prediction of when this fourth wave or third wave will appear about this pandemic, and what will be the fatal rate and how much people will be affected. So this all is being basis, all is the basis. Artificial intelligence is the basis for all, and its developed branches, they are being used for all these things. So with these things, we will start our presentation on AI, and very first attempt which we will do to define the AI. So this AI is a term which is generally refers as a group of techniques. It is not a single technique. It has been referred as a group of techniques that attempt to mimic certain aspects of human brain or its nature or behavior. And this term AI, as I told you, this was first coined in 1956, and the gentleman was John McCarthy, and he he organized a Dartmouth summer research project on AI in 1956, right? So that was the very first time when this term artificial intelligence or AI was first coined. And the motivation of this Dartmouth summer research project on artificial intelligence was that every aspect of learning or other feature of intelligence can be so precisely described that a machine can be made to simulate it, right? The very purpose was the machine must be able to simulate each and everything which is being done by the human intelligence. Then when we say that it is a set of different techniques, so we will have to say that this AI is basically a set of sciences, theories proposed earlier, and the techniques, right? And when we call techniques, so it includes mathematical logics, statistics, and probabilities, computational neurobiology, computer science, and other new branches which are appearing day by day. And all these set of different things, they aim to imitate the cognitive abilities of a human being, right? So in this way, in 1963, this AI was given as a science of making machines do things that would require intelligence if done by humans, right? So there was a continuous attempt that there will be a machine which will be done better, which will be perform better, which will think better, which will develop the new things in a better way than human being. This was the purpose. So there are several definitions about this artificial intelligence. But before that, we must. There are several definitions which were given time to time, and several we have presented here in alphabetical way, not in chronological. I think this is in a chronological way, yeah. So, but major limitation which was found in defining AI was that building machines which we were planning that shall be very intelligent. Basically, it does not actually explain two things. Very first thing is what AI is, and second is what makes a machine intelligent, right? So before trying to define AI, this we shall understand what is intelligence, right? So intelligence is the computational part of ability to achieve goals. Varying kinds and degree of intelligence occur in different people, and sometimes it appears in some animals also. You can see it in your daily life, and it is being reflected by some machines also when they are accordingly planned or programmed. So this artificial intelligence is based on the principle that human intelligence can be defined in a way that a machine can easily mimic the human activities, and it can execute tasks from the most simple one or even which are much more complex. So this shall be the basic background whenever we are trying to understand these definitions of AI. So let me start with the first definition of this Bellman. We have earlier we have presented this last definition given in 1963 by Marvin Minsky in 1963. Then comes the which is most I found that it shall be an effective definition for to share with you. This is the Bellman's definition which was given in 1978. It says that the activities that we associate with human thinking, activities such as decision making, problem solving, and learning, right? So automation of these activities is AI. Then Dean and its group in 1995 has given that the design and the study of computer programs that behave intelligently, these programs are constructed to perform as would a human or an animal whose behavior we consider as intelligent, right? So this initial things, very first definition of Bellman and this new definition of Dean, you can find some different words and different perceptions in that, but basic behind that is the activities which to make the automation, right? And then third is Kurzweil definition. It says that the art of creating machines that perform functions that require intelligence when performed by people. So again, the automation is there. Then third is the branch of computer science that is concerned with the automation of intelligent behavior. The next definition comes as many human mental, this is the definition given by Nielsen, that many human mental activities such as writing computer programs, doing mathematics, then very important is engaging in common sense reasoning, which was the very basic fundamental behind the development of robots or some intelligent robots basically who are capable of making conversations, real-time conversations with the human being, right? And they were developed also in a very in last of this decade of 1990, right? Then comes understanding language and even driving an automobile. So if we go through these activities, we can simply think and we can immediately, some example comes in our mind, is something related or is already happened either, or it is happening right now as a prototype, or it is in testing stage, right? So it was said that these human mental activities, they demand intelligence, right? And we may say that if something like is being done by the machine, right, the machine is exhibiting artificial intelligence, right? So I hope these 5 points will immediately give an insight, or some example definitely must have come in your mind what is happening today with the help of intelligence. Then comes this second definition of this Rich and Knight. It says that the study of how to make computers do things at which at the moment people are better, right? And this another definition of Chekhov develops that this a field of study that seeks to explain and emulate intelligent behavior in terms of computational process. So these definitions I have presented in this alphabetical order of the authors, right? I hope this is giving you something, this basic idea about how this has been developed and how it has been seen by the different researchers. Then comes the Winston, the study of computational that make it possible to perceive, reason, and act. The very basic thought which I shared with you in the very beginning of my presentation. Then comes this Hogland in 1985. They make the exciting new efforts to make computers things, that machine with minds in the full and literal sense, right? It says that the total command, total control shall be with the computer. Then comes the Charnick and McDermott 1985, the study of mental faculties through the use of computational models, right? So now they started thinking of computational model which shall be developed for performing the intelligent task, performing the tasks intelligently. So this another definition is given by Barr and Feigenbaum in 1981, that AI is the part of computer science. Yes, mostly computer science people do it and they develop it, they read it, concerned with the design of intelligent computer systems, that is a system that exhibit the characteristics associated with intelligence in human behavior. And what is human behavior? This was regarding understanding, this was regarding language, learning, reasoning, and finally solving problems, and further this may be making some implementation or making some decisions based on those implementation results, right? So this all was expected from this intelligent computers, right? And which was thought it shall be studied as a part of computer science. Clear? So in summary, we can say that AI is simulating, modeling, and mimicking the human behavior, right? And what was the target? The target was to usefully do something that humans do, or there was an expectation it must be done in some better way, right? When it was expected from the machine that they must do it an efficient way, right? But when this AI came, it was expected to do in some better way, right? And second was to reveal something useful and interesting about the humans, right? So that find out the either limitations of the humans, yes, this is the task which humans cannot do and machines can do in a better or more intelligent way. Then make a machine easier for human to use. Or finally it was to entertain and instruct humans, both the things which were ideally initially done by some human instructor or some human performer in real time. So this all was expected from the artificial intelligence, and that final aim was to move towards the automation, right? So this artificial intelligence is basically it was targeting to the automation with some expectation if the things shall be, the jobs shall be performed in a better way, in a more intelligent way, and definitely when machine is doing, it was expected in an efficient way. So this these definitions which we have studied earlier, they form the basis to decide the 4 possible approaches, right? And what was those 5 possible approaches I have given in this block form? That very first was systems that think like humans, and second was systems that act like humans. So this was the basis of act like human and think like human. Another part was, against this was systems that think rationally and systems that act rationally. So this was basically a comparison of this human-centered approach and this rationalist approach, and this was defined as a human-centered approach. This must be a empirical science, and definitely this, what is empirical science? That involves this hypothesis first and then its validation through the experimental, where all these hypotheses are verified. And second approach involves, that is rationalist approach, it involves a combination of mathematics and engineering, right? And we all know that different formulas, which were the empirical formulas, which are, we have learned and studied them in our initial days of when we were reading this chemistry in 10th or 12th. So there are several empirical formulas we have gone through. In engineering also, if we talk about this electrical engineering, when this first formula for the corona losses, that is also an empirical formula, right? So there is always a human-centered approach which was available in the sciences, in the technology, and definitely the most accepted approach is rationalist approach, which is entirely based on this mathematics derivations in engineering and sciences. So this here comes the Turing's test approach, where says that this acting humanly approach, where the machines or systems can act like humans, this was the Turing's test approach, right? And there is a basis, we will definitely read somewhere that this there is a Turing test, which was a test was developed by this Turing, which was a deadline, or you can say a line for deciding the machine is intelligent or not, right? So we have developed a machine, we have developed several machines now in since 1956, which have passed these Turing tests, and they were developed in very early in 80s and 90s, right? Then comes this thinking humanly approach, where these systems, they think like humans, and we call it cognitive modeling approach, right? Then comes the acting rationally approach, where systems act rationally. This is given as acting rationally approach. And finally, this comes as thinking rationally approach, where the thinking of machine is rational, right? So this comparison of these approaches, how they are connected with AI. So we shall say this acting humanly approach is a symbolic AI, where any system, human or machine, exhibits intelligence that must be operated by manipulating data structure composed of symbols, right? And we all can say we use these expert systems. They come in this acting humanly approach, right? And second is thinking humanly approach, which is based on the theories of intelligence. And we also call it this cognitive modeling approach. This is tied with the brain-like structure. And on this basis, these ANNs, artificial neural network, have been developed, and they have been found very successful in pattern recognition. In electrical engineering, we all use them forecasting purposes, right? And this load forecasting, price forecasting, tomorrow's weather forecasting, what about this solar radiation, all these things where we use this ANN in our electrical engineering. And then several examples are pattern recognition, motor processes, and learning tasks, etc. And all these being used. Initially, they use this artificial network, but later on, they are moving on further its extensions of ANN. We will discuss this later. Then we must say that this thinking rationally approach, what happened is 1965, there were programs which were existing for that could given this enough time and memory was employed in that to take a description of a problem in logical notation and find the solutions to the problem, right? But there were certain things, there were certain problems which were not having solutions, right? So this process was continuously running and exploring the solutions. Is it possible or not? And in that way, it was considering enough amount of time and this memory also. And that was the reason if there is no solution, the program, they never stop looking for it, and they might keep on moving and moving and exploring basically. Just a minute. So this this so-called this logistic tradition within AI, this hopes to build such programs which create intelligent systems. So there are two main obstacles for following this approach. The first is that it is not easy to take informal knowledge and state it in the formal terms required by the logical notation, specifically when the knowledge is less than the 100% certainty. Clear? And second, there is a big difference between being able to solve a problem in principle and doing it in a practical way. So these two obstacles were found in this thinking rationally approach, and even problems with just a few dozen facts can exhaust that this exhaust of you can say this computational resources of any computer unless it has some guidance or some reasoning steps are there. But we can say that both of these obstacles which I have discussed apply to any attempt to build computational reasoning systems. They appeared first in the logicist tradition because the power of the representation and the reasoning systems, they are well defined and well understood, right? So we shall move this thinking rationally approach. This was a laws of thought approach, which was initially attempted by, this was based on this Aristotle reasoning process. Basically what Aristotle's reasoning process were, basically that was represented by his syllogisms. This syllogisms provided patterns, right? Patterns for argument structure. So it example is this syllogism. One example I can give you here, that is Socrates is a man. Number one, all men are mortal. Number two, therefore Socrates is mortal. Right. So in this way, this right thinking approach, reasoning process was initially discussed by the first time in Socrates some 2000 years back. So these laws of thought were supposed to govern the operation of mind, and later it initiated the field of logic also. When these computer programs or some this logics etc., they came into existence. This mathematical computations through logic, they came into existence, right? So this formal logic was started in the late 90th and early 20th century, and they provided a precise notation for a statement was defined as logic about all kind of things in the world and how they are interrelated, right? The relations between them was developed through some logic. So this was a ordinary arithmetic notation which provides equality and inequality statement about numbers, and this equality and inequality is still being used in terms of certain constraints in this latest field of optimization, which we use here for solving either in the domain of electrical engineering or in the domain of this any domain, right? Any domain of the technology. So here comes the ABCD of artificial intelligence. It is given as artificial intelligence A, then comes this intelligent agents with built-in intelligence, right? Where the intelligence was infused in him from outside, right? So that is B. Then C comes as collective intelligence, which includes this swarm intelligence, right? And then finally D comes as derived intelligence. Okay, so we will study them one by one. Just a minute. Yeah. So this AI is the synthesized programs and machines to replicate human intelligence in machines or some artificial systems. Then this built-in intelligence, you can say, this was developed to perceive the word around it and autonomous decisions, and it was expected it shall have some adaptation itself, automatic adaptation for the changes. So this intelligent agents, they can be defined as an indefinitely this identifiable entity which can sense the environment around it, which have its own belief and goals, which is autonomous in choosing its actions, it is flexible in learning and has ability to adapt the changes in environment. And these agents and multi-agents, they are being used for nowadays, even they are more very useful, and they are still being used for developing new technologies or new implementation techniques for some theories. And these intelligent software examples are they have this computational science, business organization, and this medical sciences they use to solve complex optimization tasks, to understand the dynamics of markets and economies. They are used in businesses also, and to design better organizational structure and business policies for that this implementation of new policies for development. So these intelligent software agents, they are the part of this B, right? And a new branch has been developed, which is agent-based computing, which is the future of this intelligent software agents or this built-in intelligence, right? So this was B, which includes built-in intelligence in intelligent agents. Third comes as this collective intelligence. This collective intelligence is defined as a ability of group, or this is an extension of group of agents, you can say, which are working together. And we all have developed several swarm-based techniques which have this intelligence arousing out of their interactions, and We have developed several techniques such as PSO, such as this ant colonies, artificial bee colony, etc., etc. Right. So this synergistic combination of multiple agents we are using, and different algorithms are available for this, and we are using this to solve complex optimization tasks, right? And there are several examples nowadays. Different journals are being published specifically on this swarm intelligence or the basis of this collective intelligence. Rather, all these ABCD, they have several new domains for their research, right? So these are the most important things which we shall understand. Then comes that derived intelligence, right? And this derived intelligence is a very important thing which is being used, which is finding applications in present scenario where we all are available on the social media platform, where we all are available on the internet, and we are approaching internet, using internet for different activities such as email, such as using these social media platforms, where we keep on putting our views, we keep, and our views, they basically reflect my the thought process, they reflect my knowledge background and several things, right? So this AI techniques of intelligent information retrieval and data mining is being used for these purposes. And sometimes what happens, these Twitter and very new things which are happening on Twitter, this particular Twitter account has been suspended, or some recently we have found that this account of previous former US President Trump was suspended by permanently by this Twitter. So this all was on the basis of this data retrieval and data mining from the previous records, and some AI algorithms are running behind that. And in this way, they are taking decisions. Sometimes those decisions are found wrong, or some pressure is being mounted on these agencies. So they they take back their decisions, right? So this is the field which is still in development. And definitely it has a major future scope in for the upcoming researchers. So this way, this was all about this ABCD of artificial intelligence, and now we shall understand what are the aims of artificial intelligence, right? So on the basis of this discussion which we have done earlier today in our this presentation, we can say that aim of intelligence may be either one of these points, or it may a combination of some more than one points, right? So it says that it want to produce artificial humans or animals. Yes, in Japan they produced a intelligent dog, right? And several intelligent humans are also produced in form of robot, which are well trained, well prepared for a real-time conversation, right, with the human being, and as per the mood, weather, atmosphere, environment, etc. They all consider all these things to make their this conversation in real time, right? And to build systems that exhibit human intelligence, yes, they exhibit, because humans can change the discussions, they can change their behavior according to the scenario. And third is to learn more about human intelligence by trying to emulate in a machine. Yes, we develop programs, we try to introduce, every time we try to introduce almost new things, so that these machines can be made more intelligent. And this comes as a second next point, where we call super intelligent, right? So this is a continuous development process where we are where we feel that where we expect that the behavior of machines shall be much more better, or much more intelligent than the human being, so that this stage of super intelligent can be achieved by the machines. And most important thing where these AI techniques can be used, that the systems which can do boring or dangerous tasks. There are certain jobs where humans feel that this is a boring job, right? Or any question? May I request to mute yourself? I think there is some disturbance from the one mic.
I request all. Okay, okay, okay.
नहीं कोई कोई रघुनाथ करके है उनको बोलिए तो
May I continue? Okay. To build systems which can do these boring and dangerous tasks. So nowadays these
ठीक
machines
है
are
डॉक्टर साहब कैरी ऑन
okay. Thank you. So there are certain machines which we are using for removing these mines in some earlier war areas, or humans. These robots and machines are being developed for these firefighting purposes, because these firefightings are very dangerous tasks. We are using these robots for disposing these bombs nowadays, right? For which earlier humans were employed, right? And there are certain things which people feel that they are boring jobs for the human beings, such as grass cutting for a very large field, or you can say that watering the fields, etc., where this is a continuous process. You will the same job is being done by a common single man throughout the day, right? So for these purposes, they nowadays they are employing these intelligent system based systems, where this density of the water level, or this humidity is being observed by some sensor, and accordingly that decides that sprinklers shall be made on or not, or if they are made on, for how much time they shall be made on, etc., etc. Then to build useful machines using mechanisms inspired by human intelligence. A very good example of this is this Alexa, or this Siri, or this Google assistants, which are available on your different mobile phones or through different devices, right? There they can be asked to change the lighting of the room according to the mood, right? So they have decided that there are different categories of human moods. Yes, if the mood is like that, so they can develop the this mood lighting, or they can develop the temperature or the environment of the room according to the human mood, as instructed by its user, right? So these are certain aims which are continuously being implemented. You must have learned that Tesla is continuously trying to develop, or this Google is also trying to develop these cars without drivers, right? So there are definitely there are much developments in that direction, but still the this reliability is not 100%. These are not 100% error free, and sometimes we have to hear that this testing car of the Google has met with this accident. So these are the things which are still in the process of development, and definitely what is being developed, what is being done, this AI is being used behind that, because it is working on the basis of different scenarios, different patterns, and continuously they are being developed on the basis of that. So this AI includes, we all know that machine learning, that includes deep learning. Then comes evolutionary computation, fuzzy logic, cognitive modeling, natural language processing, NLP, this hybrid systems, and this agent and multi-agent based systems, as we have discussed in this ABCD of the AI. And let me share these examples which I have listed and also presented before with you during the discussion. So these examples of AI, they are the smart assistants. Yes, Siri, Alexa, and Google Assistant. Then disease making and prediction tools, right? Everyone is IT Delhi, IT Kanpur summaries are available on this internet. They have predicted about it, this second wave of COVID, how many persons will be affected, by what time it will be available in India, on the basis of previous data, right? Even they are also predicting for this third wave and next waves accordingly. And this all is being done. Which part will be more affected, which part will be less affected, it all depends on the previous data, and definitely AI is being used for this. And then manufacturing and drone robots, different manufacturing processes are being automized, right? This automation was started very early in industry, that was industrial processes. But right now the manufacturing processes are also intelligent, right? So very intelligent robots and very intelligent machines are being used for these processes. And today these drones or robots, they are also being used for supplying these big suppliers like Amazon and this Flipkart, this Walmart, etc. They are trying to use their delivery of certain things in different places they have selected, where they are planning to do their deliveries through drones, right? Today you must have seen that there is a drone which captures the pictures, right? One camera is fitted in that, and individuals or some professionals, they do it for making those intelligent normal jobs of photography in a different way, right? So in this way, AI is definitely being used for controlling these drones or controlling these robots. Then comes this optimized and personalized healthcare treatment recommendations. It is always being said that every human body is different from the others, right? Such as every human brain is different from the others, human body is also different, right? So these medication recommendations, they must be different for different persons, right? And that is the reason today we all know that doctors, they emphasize on the your earlier record. They emphasize on the your what is your health record, what is your this measurements, what was the temperature, blood pressure, sugar for the previous month or for the previous year. On the basis of those data, they specifically provide you certain medications, right? And this is the very recent example, you can say, this Apple Watch or these Apple Health app. They basically give you certain recommendations. If you are sitting more than 1 hour, they will give you a message, you are sitting from this much time. Or accordingly, they give also, if this they continuously measure your pulse, they continuously measure your this human vitals, you are running, or you are running from this much time, you shall not run because this pulse per minute is increasing, right? So these messages are continuously being given by that particular small device which you are wearing, and you are following those things accordingly, right? So these are, and other things also, these machines, big CT machines and this MRI machines, they are also doing accordingly depending upon the size and inputs given by doctors about the patient, right? So then comes the conversational bots for marketing and customer service. Every good manufacturer who is having a good website, they are using bots nowadays, right? Either you go on this Tata Click, they are having their bot, how can I help you? Even you go on this website of this Samsung or Apple, they have a bot. Even this AICT, yesterday, 2 days back, I came to know that there is a bot available on this AICT website also, right? Okay, this bot will attend you for your questions. You can write your questions here, there, and they will definitely give you certain answer, right? And if you are not satisfied with those answers, then some customer executive or some executive from the office can attend you to satisfy your queries, right? And definitely then also they make a conversation, this call is being recorded for different purposes, right? So this all is, that particular data will be used for the development of the new programs which will be the basis of training this bot for the future uses. May I request organizers to look into ये noise थोड़ा सा देख लीजिए.
Sir, it was a mistake from, I think it was a mistake from participant ends. And
No issues, no issues. If they have any question, they can ask anytime, right?
yes,
Yeah.
sir, they have freedom to type in chat box. We will be intimating you.
Okay, sir. Okay. Then different example, I will move faster now. So there are different examples like robo advisors for stock trading. There are spam filters on our email. According to certain trend, they filter out the undesirable mails as per your instruction or the instruction of this service provider. Then this social media monitoring tools, then this program or TV recommendations. Whenever you open the app, there are definitely something comes over, right? And whatever this Google and Yahoo, they are also showing the ads according to your choice. If you have certain time, you have search on this Google, yeah, I want to purchase a TV, right? And this Tata Click or something like that, you have searched for TV. So your Google Mail and your Yahoo Mail, they will keep on sending you advertisements on the left side of your screen or right side of the screen regarding those things. So you can search, right? So this is an attempt to facilitate you so that you can purchase the device from as per their recommendation, right? And they are doing it on the paid basis, right? They are getting money for it. So these are the things which are continuously happening, right? And there was a website, I do not remember that name, which was used to claim that collects the information from several websites and give you the cheapest air ticket or give you cheapest hotel stay rates accordingly for a given schedule, right? And then comes autopilot flights are there. These are the programs which are being introduced in the within this aeroplanes, and they do this autopilot mode. And definitely this autopilot four-wheelers are also coming. They are in the process of development without driver cars, we can say, right? So this and this AI in retail, business, etc., they are being used presently. Then let me put this quiz with you, which of the following can be done using AI presently, right? So decent game of table tennis, chess, or something other, right, which can be played on the board, right, that can be played using AI. Then drive safely along a curving mountain road. Yes, the cars are designed with different sensors which keep on adjusting the or keep on helping the drivers for their driving, right? But drive safely along a crowded road, it is under question, because this crowd pattern is still identifiable because human is involved in that. So sometimes this is not 100% error free. Then comes buy a week's worth of groceries on the web. Yes, you can order it on Amazon or you can order it on Walmart, where whatever the these things are using this Google Assistant or this Alexa, you can speak to them and they can make a list and book it accordingly. Even they can book a car for you. Even they can book a doctor's appointment for you, and you can take their help, right? But how to get it from a store, right? This is yet to be done. On the basis of when you are visiting a store, it is yet to be developed, because this pattern recognition or some visuals are to be involved in that, and accordingly it is yet to be developed. Then prove a new mathematical theorem. It can be developed, but it is because it can develop, discover, and prove on the basis of existing logics, right? But always there are new logics which are being developed by the scientists. They, in this way, here they a bit behind than the human being, right? Then this comes the converse successfully with another person for an hour. Yes, the technology is developed. Robots are developed for continuous talking conversations, right? But how much they are effective, that is not established 100% yet. Then perform a surgical operation. Yes, there are machines which are doing operation nowadays, right? And with the advent of this 5G, it is said that these operations can be done in real time by a machine. Even the surgeon is sitting somewhere much away, because it is expected this new 5G will reduce this delay timing in the communication to the acceptable limits. Then comes the disassemble, fold the laundry. Yes, this is possible. Translate spoken Chinese into spoken English in real time. Yes, there are websites. Present, write an intentionally funny story, right, or poem, because this also depends on the human liking. Because something which is a funny thing for me, it may not a funny thing for person X or Y, right? So it is possible and it is also not possible, right? So this cannot be, we cannot say this can be fully done using this AI. But softwares are available. If you search on the net, there are the software available, there are the templates available for each and every job which you can think. So here comes this this AI timeline, you can say. This AI timeline is being developed like this. This also says that this AI and then machine learning is a subset of this AI, and finally this deep learning is again a subset of this machine learning, right? And as I told you earlier, this 1950 was the starting point. Then 1956 was the starting point for the term AI, and this started from 1950 by Turing, right? And then 1980s, the machine learning came into picture, and then after this 2010, this deep learning, this was developed, right? And for this I'm explaining with the help of this diagram which I have taken from the Oracle website. Here comes a AI timeline. You may find this very interesting, right? Because this is from 1950 to 2017. 2017 is there, and recent development must be in your knowledge, right? So what happened in 1950, this Turing test was proposed by this computer scientist Alan Turing, and this test was for machine intelligence. If a machine can trick humans into thinking it is human, then it has intelligence. This was given by Turing. Then this 1955, then AI-born term artificial intelligence is coined by computer scientist John McCarthy to describe the science and engineering of making intelligent machine. So this was the you can say this was the birth of artificial intelligence term, which was first time proposed by this John McCarthy. Then in 1961, first industrial robot Unimate was the name. It was deployed on work at GM, General Motors, and it replaced human beings on assembly line, right? So this was an extension of the automation basically, where these intelligent robots were deployed. Then in 1964, Eliza was the name of a chatbot. This was developed by Joseph Weizenbaum at MIT, and this was capable of having conversations with humans, right? And then 1966, a general purpose mobile robot named Shaky. This was developed, and it was popularized as a first electronic person, you can say, right? It was a first electronic person, and it was developed at Stanford. And then comes the Deep Blue, right? This 1997 was a very remarkable event happened. This Deep Blue was a computer proposed by IBM, developed by IBM, and it defeated the then world champion Garry Kasparov, right? So this was a major milestone in the history of AI. You can say that there was a machine which was capable of defeating the world chess champion in the game of chess, right? So this was machines better than human. This was the earlier proposal which was proposed by the basic timeline during this time of Turing and John McCarthy. This was successful. Then there's next is Kismet. It was a emotionally intelligent robot which was capable of this detecting and responding to the pupil feelings, and accordingly it can sense the feelings and it can respond accordingly. And this was developed at MIT by Cynthia Breazeal. So Kismet was the capable of a robot capable of replying as per the emotions and feelings of the person with whom it is communicating. Then a very interesting 1999, this Abo was proposed, and this Abo was a pet dog robot, which was proposed for giving company to the alone persons in Japan, and this was an alternative, and it was continuously developed with time, and it was a very successful robot. Then this a vacuum cleaner was proposed, named as iRobot or Roomba. It was the name. It was the robotic vacuum cleaner, and it learned to how to navigate within the home and clean home. And we all know that Siri, which is the Apple voice interface, this is the intelligent interface, you can say, with the Apple, and it gives or responds as per your queries given to them or task assigned to them. Then comes the IBM Watson. IBM Watson was also the second time when this first IBM was IBM Deep Blue, which won this chess game with Garry Kasparov, and second was this Watson. Watson also did a miracle, that this was a question answering robot, and it was so popular or so intelligent, you can say, that it won this a television quiz show, Jeopardy, on the television, and which was having a prize of $1 million, right? And it won that first prize, Watson. Then comes this Eugene. Eugene was a chatbot which passed the Turing test with a third judge. The total number of judges were there were more than one judges, right? And 1/3 of the judges given an impression that they observed and they found or they realized that Eugene was not a machine, it was a human being, right? So this was the development till 2014. Then 2014, Alexa was also introduced by this Amazon. This is all, and we all know about Alexa, nothing to say about it. Then this 2016, Microsoft developed this chat box that was named Tay, right? And it became popular negatively for making some this inflammatory and offensive racist comments on this social media, right? So this was a negative thing which was found with this chatbot Tay. Then comes a very this another game which was won by this next computer or AI-based device machine, you can say. This was AlphaGo, right? So AlphaGo was developed by this Google, right? And they it won against this world champion KG for a board game named Go. So there was a board game which named Go, and the world champion for that was KG, and this AlphaGo defeated KG for this in 2017, right? And this was a also found that this Go was a very difficult game to play because it was having a very vast number of possible positions, right? So that was the reason this was termed as intelligent. So these are the few examples where this you can find this timeline of this, and we will move ahead with this. How is AI used? So I think I have still 30 minutes to go with.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will try to finish in next 15-20 minutes, and then we will be we will take questions from the audience, right?
Exactly.
So this particular diagram which I am showing in front of you, this gives you an idea of how this AI is used, right? And it classifies these 3 stages of AI, and we cannot say this as a 3 stages. Basically, there are 2 broad categories we can say. One is this narrow AI, and second is artificial general intelligence, right? So this artificial general intelligence, this goes for these 2, right? So narrow AI, we can say it sometimes referred as weak AI also, right? And this kind of AI operates within a limited context and is a simulation of human intelligence, right? And this narrow AI is often focused on the performing a single task that is extremely well. And while these machines may seem intelligent, they are sometimes operating under much more constraints and limitations, basically, and that than even the most basic human intelligence, right? And that is the reason they, with the help of these constraints and limitations, their performance or their responses are very limited, right? So the single task or some specific task wherever is done, and we are using this narrow AI, right? And you can find an example ki wherever single task, either this Alexa or this thing you have assigned in one statement, they are using these things, right? So today's, we can simply say that all the AI which we are using today, they are simply basically narrow, right? And on this basis, we can say there is a long way to go with this artificial intelligence, and where this AGI is sometimes referred as strong AI, right? So this artificial general impedance or this general AI, whatever this general, if we are saying this general AI, and this is referred as strong AI, right? It takes multitasking or multi-domain this things he can perform. And this is the type of things which we have only found in the movies. ठीक है, तो जो movies में we have found certain robots. One example I can give you, this Star Trek, the Next Generation was a show, right? And there was a character Data, right? So that is the example of this general AI or strong AI, right? So AGI, this general AI, is a machine with general intelligence, much like a human being, and it can apply this AI for solve any type of problem, right? So this is performed as a human in perception task and is capable of reasoning also, right? So two different types of things it can do. Then finally comes as this super AI, right? And this super AI is they are the machines. They are in order of magnitude smarter than humans, right? And they are simply, you can say, they may be a replacement of human being in future, but that is still too far and a lot of way to go with all those things in future. I do not know that is going to be a successful thing or not. Then comes this data and machine learning, and we can say this how this machine learning is related with the narrow AI, and this how this is artificial intelligence is there. And as I gave you example of these things, this narrow AI is presently in use, and all these things which we can form this, such as this Google search, image recognition software, Siri, Alexa, or this Google Assistant, they all are come in the category of narrow AI. Then comes this whatever we are trying to make this self-driving cars or this autopilot feature in the different devices, or these computers such as this Watson and Deep Blue, etc. They all come in the category of this narrow AI, right? So we can simply say that much of this narrow AI is has been used, and in future this narrow AI is going to be implemented through this machine learning and deep learning, right? To make it more important, more performing, right? So this is the present scenario where we see a long way to go with this narrow AI, and even then in future after that we will be able to achieve that general AI or this super AI, right? So this here there is a time to define or differentiate this artificial intelligence and this machine learning with deep learning, right? So if we simply say there was one venture capitalist named Frank Chen. He gave an overview of this about this terms AI, machine learning, and deep learning. He said that this artificial, just a minute. He said that this artificial intelligence is a set of algorithms and intelligence, algorithm and intelligence both basically, to try to mimic human intelligence, right? And he gave an example that machine learning is one of them. And he further said that deep learning is, it can be taken as one of the machine learning techniques. One of the machine learning techniques, right? So there may be much more techniques within the machine learning, such as deep learning. Okay, so if we explain this further, so we can find that this machine learning feeds a computer data, and it uses statistical techniques for the process of in the process of helping the computer learning basically how to become progressively better in the performance, right? And how to make the programs more intelligent. So machine learning is used for this, and we can say this machine learning consists of both of these supervised and unsupervised learning both, right? And in case of supervised learning, we use this labeled data sets, and in case of this unsupervised learning, we use this unlabeled data sets, right? And further, it can be said that deep learning is a type of machine learning that run inputs through biologically inspired this ANN structures, and this neural network is it contains you can say that it contains a number of hidden layers for the data processing, and it allows the machine to go deep for the learning process, and then making connections, then weights are used for different connections, right? So these inputs are being given through ANN for the best results, right? And as we discussed in the last slide, that this general AI and this super AI for the human, they are the things of future, and we have an expectation that one day we may develop ourselves to that general AI and super AI. Okay, so then we comes this how this AI works. So as we developed this diagram for you and taken from this reference, that very first thing is that is the data record is used by these AI algorithms, which include this machine learning and deep learning both, right? And they extract data into compatible class objects, right? And this data is processed by this AI algorithm, right? And in this process, they take some new data also, right? And they can make a comparison of all these things using this AI or this neural network, etc., right? And then they give this outage prediction or future prediction. This thing is very much similar. We use this very process for this forecasting things on the basis of new data and using the older data records. So you can say that this AI works by combining large amounts of data with fast iterative processing and intelligent algorithms, right? And role of software is to learn automatically from these patterns or features in data, and accordingly, with the help of this software or algorithm, we get the prediction or output. So this can say that computers are good in at following processes, that is sequence of steps to execute a test. Give a computer a step to execute a task, it should easily be able to complete it. The steps are nothing but algorithms which are run for doing the jobs. and algorithms can be as simple as printing two numbers or as difficult as predicting who will win the elections next year, right? So these are the predictions which are made by different persons for different purposes, for their personal liking or disliking or their personal benefits, right? And it is not sure that these predictions may be correct or not, but definitely a lot of people they feel that this thing is good, and that on the basis of they try to predict the electricity availability, they try to predict the tomorrow's generation of electricity using these solar PV panels or wind energy, or sometimes they try to predict the share prices in the share market tomorrow, etc., etc., right? So there are different activities of predictions depending upon the nature of job. Now comes this major subfields of AI. On the basis of this diagram, you can simply find out that there are 6 subfields, major subfields, which are here, and there are certain new subfields we will discuss here in the next slide, right? So these major subfields are presented here as cognitive computing. Then next is computer vision, then machine learning, neural networks, and this neural networks forms the basis for this deep learning, and then comes this natural language processing or NLP, right? So conventionally, the computers which are used for these purposes, they combine the knowledge. We can say this AI combines the knowledge from computer science, automation, and then information, or this information technology, mathematics, psychology, and philosophy and linguistics, right? So this all is being used by the AI for as a domain knowledge. So we can say this cognitive computing can be given as a subfield of AI, which strives for this natural human-like interaction with machines, right? And using AI and cognitive computing, the ultimate goal is for a machine to simulate human processes through the ability to interpret these images and speech, and then speak coherently in response, right? So this slide can be presented, and some software can be there which can continuously talk about this in real time about this presentation of diagram, right? Then comes the computer vision. Computer vision, it uses pattern recognition and deep learning things to recognize what is in a picture or video. When machines can process, analyze, and understand images, they can capture images or videos in real time and interpret their surroundings, and then these things can be used with huge success for using these drone images for crop monitoring or some monitoring in the war fields, etc., etc. Then comes the machine learning. Machine learning, this automates the analytical model building. It uses methods from neural network, statistics, operation research, and physics also to find this hidden insight in the data without being programmed for where to look or what to conclude, right? So this is machine learning, and then comes this neural network. We all know that this is a type of machine learning. This is interconnected units such as neurons, and this process information, and some weights and etc. are used for getting all this output from this neural network. Then comes this deep learning. It uses neural networks or very big size neural networks with many layers of processing units, and definitely when these number of layers are much more, we need a lot of computing power. So we all know that there are sufficient advances in the computing power nowadays to implement these deep learning and develop new training techniques with or improved training techniques to learn complex patterns with large amount of data, right? So this deep learning applications are being used definitely for this image and search recognitions, speech recognition, all these purposes. Finally comes this natural language processing, where this NLP, this is the ability of computer to analyze, understand, and generate human language, including speech. The further stage of this NLP is, you can give it as this natural language interaction, right, which allows humans to communicate with computers in their normal life for daily or day-to-day work for different tasks, right? So these are the major subfields, you can say, and additionally several technologies which enable and support this AI. They can be given as graphical interface units, Internet of Things, right? They can be given as advanced algorithms. They can be given as application programming interfaces, which are being used by the common man, either on the screen or somewhere, wherever it is being used, right? And these new areas which can be used, which are available, such as these audio analytics, visualization, and then very recent is the social network analysis. They are the very new additions to the current scenario for in the area of application of artificial intelligence. So these are the things which we are using for this thing for implementation of AI or the working of AI. How does it work? Next comes the challenges of using AI. So these I have listed. I think there is not sufficient time to elaborate all these things, but definitely this data quality and quantity is an important aspect, which is definitely a challenge. Then this data labeling is also important, because this labeled and unlabeled data plays an important role in different domains. Then comes the explainability of data. Then comes the case specific learning, because this explainability is this is because several black box models are available they are being developed for implementing of AI, and the users end up with a conclusion without any explanation. You get the output, but how it happened, it is not available to you. So this explainability is a challenge where the user wants to understand how did it happen, how this decision has been taken, what was the reasons, what were the conditions considered for all these things. And sometimes these things are very important in the implementation of new policies by the administrators, or sometimes they are very important for the doctors for taking further course of action about the medication of patient, etc. So this explainability is also a challenge. Then comes this case-specific learning. Case-specific learning is also because this whatever the systems have been developed by the AI, they are very, very specialized, right? And they focus on a single task and far from behaving like humans, right? So this case-specific learning is also a challenge. How this shall be used in case of either some fraud is happening or not, in case of either in share market or in some health sector. We know that some allegations of this manipulation of data, etc., data of how many victims of this pandemic, some data manipulation was done. It is blamed by certain agencies, right? So these are the challenges basically from the data, because if I'm using this particular technique, results may be this. If some technique has been used by the machine, right, or algorithms has been used changed by the machine, the results may be different, right? But as AI gives you the output, so you are not in a condition to understand which algorithm or how this data are, or how these results are changed for two different scenarios when the data was almost common, right? So these are the this is also one of the challenge. And then comes the bias, right? Basically what happens in case of social media or etc., we take the representatives of those suppose I'm using this thing social media, and I'm giving some my view. I'm putting it on the that particular social media platform, but your view may be different, right? Or some group of the persons, they may have some different view, but the artificial intelligence will take all of these as a sample, right? And these different views, whichever view will be in the majority, or the persons of the followers of some particular view who will the majority, right? That will be the output on the basis of, if you are using AI for making any decision on the basis of these views, right? And definitely this is a human being that has a capacity of telling lie also, right? And if this particular view is based on some lie, so definitely the output is also going to create, or the output is also going to be a biased output, right? So these are certain challenges which I could list over here. It is not a complete list. There may be some more further challenges, or if you are using this, you may also find this some challenge in your particular application of area. So definitely this list may increase in future, right? So finally, I will come to the conclusion that this particular word is nowadays is having this information, data. They are coming like a big bang. They are coming, and we have an assessment that the universe of data doubles every 2 years, right? And quintillons of bytes of data are generated every day by the users of and different devices, right? And we also are aware with this Moore's law, right, which is applicable since decades, that on the doubling of computing power in every 18 to 24 months has driven the growth of this new area of information technology, right? So number of devices has increased, such as computers, tablets, mobile phones, etc., right? And these devices collect and transmit huge amount of data on this global communication network, right? And there are several data centers which are collecting these data from different nodes of information. It may be some medical devices, it may be some system devices, it may be some electrical system devices or manufacturing system devices, etc., etc. So we are having a hope also that in future this 5G technology will come, which will make a tremendous impact on this communication technology. So this data flowing speed will increase, right? So when this is increased, we will be free to generate more amount of data. So this definitely, this interference of artificial intelligence is going to be mandatory for this decision making and its implementation and the follow-up or the feedback of the implementation. We will have to use this artificial intelligence, right? And in coming time, definitely the new domains will also be developed for this AI, as AI will evolve further, and it will magnify the ability to use personal information in way so that sometimes we may feel that it is intruding our privacy also, right? So that will be a limitation again, where we'll have to restrict how to reduce this intervention of AI in our daily life. So there are certain limitations, there are certain constraints also. So it is our responsibility that to deal with these issues, we must familiarize with artificial intelligence so that it may be easier for us to understand what may happen to us, what may happen with us and with our surrounding. So nothing is 100% perfect, and we shall be prepared for the new problems whenever the new solutions are coming, right? And there is a long way to go for AI that I have tried to show with this diagram. And with these words, I conclude this presentation. And if you have any questions, I welcome you. May I get some 1 minute time? You just by that time you prepare your questions.
Thank you,
please.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Thank you, Doctor.
Sir,
Thank you, Doctor.
thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good morning.
गुड मॉर्निंग। ये तो आपका वो है कि आपने हमें समय दिया आज यहाँ मौजूद होने के लिए।
Exhaustive lecture.
जस्ट मिनट, लेट मी कम बैक टू दैट विंडो।
काफी ठीक लगा।
हाँ सर, नमस्ते।
Very much, है ना?
अभी अपना कैमरा एक बार खोल लूँ।
अच्छा लगा कि थोड़ी ठीक
कि
है, ठीक।
आपको सामने सामने नमस्ते कह सकूँ।
हाँ हाँ जी, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, बहुत मेहनत की आपने।
थैंक यू सर, ये तो आपने मौका दिया तो हमने प्रेजेंट कर दिया सर।
ठीक।
हाँ
नहीं बहुत बढ़िया
हाँ जी, नमस्कार सर।
बहुत बढ़िया। ठीक, नमस्कार नमस्कार।
तो योगेश जी, अब तो हेड साहब ने अप्रूव कर दिया
ठीक है
हमारा।
डॉक्टर साहब, बहुत अच्छा।
हाँ
हेड साहब सर आपके बगल में ही खड़े हुए हैं।
हाँ, मैंने कहा हेड साहब ने अप्रूव कर दिया मेरा प्रेजेंटेशन, तो नाउ आई हैव सम होप।
अरे सर, आपका इंस्टीट्यूट है, आप देखिए, आप लोग का गाइडेंस हमेशा रहता है हमारे संस्थान को, और हमेशा आप खड़े हो जाते हैं चीजों में आके सामने। ये बहुत अच्छा ही, हम लोग के लिए बहुत ही सपोर्ट है आपका, है ना? थैंक यू वेरी मच।
आपको आपसे ही सीखा है सर, आप लोगों की संगत में रह के। आप लोग सीनियर्स हैं, आप लोग मेंटर्स हैं जी। सो आई अप्रिशिएट कि आई एम लकी इनफ टू हैव योर कंपनी। और मैं तो योगेश जी और सबसे कुछ ना कुछ सीखता ही हूँ हमेशा। ये कोशिश करता हूँ कि
नहीं,
सीखूं जरूर।
जी
ये तो सर आपका बचपन है सर।
थैंक यू। चलिए सर, अगर मैं यही रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा ऑडियंस से भी, कुछ क्वेश्चंस अगर वो करते हैं तो आई विल गेट एन अपॉर्चुनिटी टू लर्न। और कोशिश करूंगा अगर कोई कमी रह गई होगी प्रेजेंटेशन में तो नेक्स्ट टाइम आई विल ट्राई टू इम्प्रूव दैट। सो इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चंस, I think I have
Yes.
crossed my time limit. I have completed. Is it?
Yes, sir, you were in time. And there is a question from participant Sangeeta Mangesh.
जी।
Tesla car recently met an accident with a Pandora of issue got opened. What is your opinion?
Basically, this I'm not expert on this Tesla car, but on the basic of this thing, is something failed. Something was designed, and that did not work. So definitely, it was certain limitation of the implementation of that algorithm, right? This is the only answer what I feel which can be given on from the AI side, right?
Sir,
So,
if you may permit, I could add on this question to answer to this question, if you permit.
please.
Sir, actually, the thing that happened, this accident happened in the highway, and there was a pedestrian. No, there was a person who was in a cycle. So he was crossing the highway. So the sensor first detected it as a pedestrian. Then after a while, it detected it as a something which is in front of it. And due to this two result, it got confused, and it has made a decision that there is nothing in front of it, and it just rammed into that cyclist. And I think that is the incident Sangeeta is asking about. And there was also one accident with this car, and it was due to a mistake of human that came into the picture. I do have knowledge on this, but it's very less.
Yes, thank you for this clarification, which you made very clear. But definitely, as I told you earlier in my one slide, what can be done and what cannot be done with the AI, right? So for which we are saying that. So I gave you an example at that time, what can be done. We can drive the vehicle on some curvy mountains very easily with this help of this thing AI, but it is still not possible to drive the safely on a crowded road, right? So definitely
yes,
we
sir.
will be successful in one day, no issues, but still this is a limitation. Yeah.
Yes, sir. That is, I guess, type 5 mobility that has to be achieved by us.
So definitely Dhananjay is having more better explanation than me. Yeah. So thank you, Dhananjay. Any other question?
Any other question from the
So may I
user?
request the audience, if you have any further query, let me share with you again. that my email is ashish@mnnit.ac.in. I will share this email again with you on your screen. Just give me 1 sec. Here it is. Yeah, can you see this? This is ashish@mnnit.ac.in. You can write me on this, or you can collect my contact number if you are interested from the organizers, right? So I will be very happy to learn something from your questions. And definitely I cannot claim I can answer every question, definitely, but I can find that answer for you, either myself or go through literature, or with the help of Dhananjay, because he gave a better reply than me. Yeah, he was much prepared, much updated. Yeah. So
it was just a online course I had on this robotics, especially in
Oh.
the e-mobility, that helped me with this.
so definitely I will be in your contact, right? Ah.
So it's my
to learn,
pleasure.
because e-mobility is also my area of interest. So with these words, may I request organizer to please relieve me from this?
Yes, so
Talk.
just I need 2 minutes of yours.
Sure, please.
KNIT Sultanpur family expressed their gratitude for such an informative session on defining AI and how AI evolved in various fields and challenges to AI. We would like to thank you for sharing your vast experience in AI. And yes, AI become much more popular with researchers when AI-based software defeated a chess player, and after that, AlphaGo that defeated a human player on the board game Go. For this is just for information. You can there is a documentary on YouTube on AlphaGo. You can just watch